CGB, we got an interesting video for you today. I don't really think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if Magic has anything like this, but in Yu-Gi-Oh, we have what are called, I don't even know what I really call them, to be honest with you. I guess it's like deck building concessions, let's say, where you play 3 of a really broken card, but you have to play 1 or more copies of a card that is practically unplayable in order to harness the power of the really good card. Does Magic have anything similar to this?
Actually,
oh God.
Cimo, we've had some interesting deck building restriction items over the years. I'm gonna hijack your video right away.
Oh, here we go. Wow, that didn't take long. Didn't take long.
We're gonna start your Yu-Gi-Oh video with a Magic card. This isn't quite the same thing, but it's what I thought of.
Battle of Wits. This is 3 and 2 blue for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 200 or more cards in your library, you win the game. What is this card? I don't think this isn't exactly what I'm referring to. So we have what are called, colloquially are called Garnets. And the reason for that is going to be very apparent when I show you a couple cards here. So I'm going to be showing you some cards, and as always, you have to guess if you think at any point these cards had to get hit on the ban list, whether banned, limited, or perfectly fine at 3 copies. Are you ready?
I mean, yeah, but I'm kind of offended that you don't think Battle of Wits is a good card. It says win the game on it, Cimo.
It's not...
Where's your 200 card deck, buddy? Let's go.
It's not that. Although, funny enough, I don't know if you know this. At some point, someone entered a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament with a 2,000 card deck, but that's for another video.
Magic players will also talk about companions. I have companions. I'll teach you about companions later. I have no comment on companion today.
So give this card a read first. This will be your first card.
Brilliant Fusion. This is a spell card, and when this card is activated, fusion summon 1 Gem Knight fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your deck as fusion materials, but change its attack and defense to 0. If this card leaves the field, destroy that monster once per turn. You can discard 1 spell card. The monster special summoned by this card's effect gains attack and defense equal to its original attack and defense until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only activate 1 Brilliant Fusion per turn.
So I am now going to show you what you summon off of this, and then I will get into the latter part of this video.
Gem Knight Seraphinite. Seraphinite. Obviously, it's a Seraph and a Knight mixed. One day, a Seraph and a Knight loved each other very much, and this is what you got. So this is a 2300 attack, 1400 defense, fairy fusion effect. The fusion is 1 Gem Knight monster plus 1 light monster. Must first be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials. During your main phase, you can normal summon or set 1 monster in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain this effect once per turn.
And so here's what we refer to as a Garnet. So this card is a vanilla, which means that it has no effect. It just has 1900 attack points, so you could theoretically hit over some things. So in order to use Brilliant Fusion, you have to play a Gem Knight card of sorts. And the Gem Knight card that was played was Garnet because it had the highest attack stat of any other Gem Knight card. So you get to harness this really powerful effect with Brilliant Fusion to summon Seraphinite, assuming you also have light monsters in your deck. But you have to play this card, which we refer to as a Garnet, which basically means it, like, in your hand, it doesn't really do anything. And in the deck, it also doesn't really do anything. But it's like, if it's in your hand, you can't even activate Brilliant Fusion because you have to send it from your deck. So what do you think?
What? Okay. We haven't done a video in like 2 weeks. I already feel like I've forgotten everything about Yu-Gi-Oh again.
Where's the notebook? Where's the notebook?
Jesus. It's still over there against a wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I can kind of see it.
So Brilliant Fusion was sort of...
I don't want to get up.
Brilliant Fusion was sort of one of the first types of cards to be designed this way. So you're purposely playing these cards in like a 3-to-1 ratio because you want to see the Brilliant Fusion, but you never want to see the Garnet. But you get to use the power of, harness the power of Brilliant Fusion by playing this like card that effectively does nothing in your deck.
I'm very like, okay, so
ask your questions. Ask your questions.
So it's a way to kind of get around fusion summoning, right?
No, it's its own version of fusion summoning. So you play the Brilliant Fusion, you send the Garnet and a light monster to the graveyard, and you get to summon the Seraphinite. And because Seraphinite's on the field, now you get to normal summon twice in a turn instead of just once.
Is that good?
I don't know. You tell me.
I thought special summoning like is all that you do. What? I guess you can get more materials.
Yeah.
And you have to have this in your deck.
This could also be bad. Like, it could be bad.
Yeah, you guys don't get to mulligan, right? If you just draw this, then this part of your deck doesn't work?
Correct.
It does feel like I've spent the last year learning and then relearning that nobody summons normally except to do a summoning jutsu for a fusion summon or something. You know, that it's all about special summoning. Special summoning is not special, and normal summoning is just kind of a path to get there. So how good is getting to normal set another monster? If it's above level 4, you still have to... Is that special summoning? No, it's tribute summoning,
That's tribute
right?
summoning. That counts as a normal summon. So hypothetically, you could normal summon a monster and then tribute over that monster as your second normal summon. That would be a legal play.
Right. So how good is that when you're already a fusion summon deck and you're already giving up a spot for it? And if Brilliant Fusion, like you said, is mainly getting this, it must be good. You're building your deck with it in mind. But I mean, all that we're seeing is the enable to something that I struggle to understand how impressive it is.
Okay.
Because like... The way that I understand your game is like I special summon this, I special summon this, I special summon this, I special summon this.
That's correct.
And I'm picturing that versus I get another normal summon. I'm done. And it's like, that's probably not what's happening, right? It's tough for me to fathom how far ahead that gets you. I imagine it gets you somewhere, but you still have to have the right monster to place, and then you also have to be able to pay it off with the right thing. Now, if you can build your deck around that, I imagine it's better than I think it is. Or you are showing me a lemon right away to mess with my head. Like
Would I do that, CGB?
When you tell me that this is the best, that this is what Brilliant Fusion does, this must be better than I think it is, or this whole video is a lemon. And you wouldn't do that.
I would never
so
do such a thing. I'd never do
this
such a
has
thing.
to be in some way good. I just don't understand the max. I don't understand like how the payoff is better than like what these special summoning decks are already doing.
You know, you could look at it from the perspective of that. You know, obviously we coined the term Garnet for these cards that effectively are dead cards in our deck or hand. I could just be showing it to you because this is the first one of them. Not that it's necessarily good, but that it's like this is the first time we referred to like Garnet type cards.
So Brilliant Fusion can get other things, but this is a thing it got when the type was first revealed. Is that what you're trying to say?
There are other Gem Knight fusions, but the Seraphinite is the best one and is the one that you were typically always summoning off of it.
I mean, it's
you can play this package
really
as its own like independent engine, if you will.
If this were like getting an extra draw step, like cards in Magic that give you an extra draw phase, like that would be insane. As far as getting to lay an extra item, this could be a Magic card like Aether Vial or As Foretold. As Foretold is bad, Aether Vial is good. I like ways to get more resources than your opponent each turn as it goes. But that seems like it just, I don't know, man. I'm not impressed.
So you
not
think it's
only
fine?
that, you just draw the Gem Knight. Like you need cards in your deck that probably put it back on the bottom of your deck or something to do your thing. Maybe you have that.
And there are cards that can hypothetically do that. They're very few, but there are a few cards that can do that.
Do you have Pot of Nonsense that puts cards back in your deck
Actually,
to draw cards?
Funny enough you say that. Hold on. I never thought I'd get to show you this card in my life. This is so funny that you say that. Give this card a read.
Pot of Generosity. Return 2 cards from your hand to your deck, then shuffle your deck? Who's this generous to? Your opponent? Why? What is this?
I never thought I'd get to show you this. That's so funny.
Why would they make me think about drawing 2 and then show me that?
This is literally
is
like
so
one of
stupid.
the worst Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever printed.
That is so. There is no way this got in a deck. There is no way you ran this to shuffle in your Gem Knight. There is no way. This can't be real.
No, there are better cards that had the ability to do that, but this is like
Jesus,
just. It's funny you
thank
just
God.
mentioned it. It's funny you mentioned. I had to show you.
You know what? Speaking of generosity, hold on. Hold on. I got something in the mail. Do you know anything about this?
I don't know. I mean, your birthday's coming up. I'm not sure. You know, what did you get in the mail?
Thank you, by the way, Simo.
Did you think about
Thank
drawing
you
2
for
cards
this.
today, CGP?
Well, from now on, if this is in my house, I will always get reminded to draw 2 cards every day, all the time. And
I thought you'd
dude,
appreciate
how
that.
did you know? How did you know I needed to decorate my house in some Yu-Gi-Oh nonsense? I don't have enough Magic or Pokemon stuff around my house thanks to my wife. Now I get some Yu-Gi-Oh nonsense. Good God.
Happy early
Thank
birthday.
you. Thank you. It is my birthday this month. Thank you. I'm a lucky guy. I appreciate you. You are the pot of generosity, Simo. You are. This might be the worst card you've ever shown me. It's an
Probably.
anti-draw too.
Yep.
Oh, I'm broken. I'm a little broken. You can't show me any more cards. I don't think I can handle it.
Apparently not. I think Brilliant Fusion already broke you before I even showed you Pot of Generosity.
You might be right about that. I really don't get it. Like, I don't.
Oh,
like,
trust me.
This...
We also don't get it, if it makes you feel better. So this is a very old card for context. We have no idea why they printed this. Like, this card is so bad.
It's an impressive mess. At least you got me the pot that does draw 2, and not now that I know that there is a pot out there that just discards you 2. Yeah, thanks for not getting me that. I don't think they'd make that into a lamp, to be honest, or whatever I have here. Oh goodness.
So you think Brilliant Fusion's bait?
I mean, I can see the potential of the card. There's a lot of text for basically being able to tutor up what you want and use things in your deck as materials.
One of the biggest downsides of fusion summoning is the fact that you're committing 2 or more resources and a fusion card from your hand or field to summon a fusion monster. Brilliant Fusion does it directly from the deck, so you basically don't lose any card economy while you're performing a fusion summon, which is something that, when this card was printed in 2014, I want to say? 2015, I was very close, 2015. So it's kind of on that line of like Yu-Gi-Oh 2.
Yeah, this is a little busted. It was when you showed me the Seraphinite and the Garnet, the thing you have to run it. And I'm like, I don't see the payoff. I don't know. This doesn't, like, especially you're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh 2. It seems to me like Yu-Gi-Oh 2 cards dunk all over this.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Again, I feel like you're showing me the doorway to something I haven't thought about in Yu-Gi-Oh, which is getting to normal set more. I trained myself into believing that doesn't matter a long time ago.
So you think it's fine?
It's fine right now.
Right now.
Right now, I know what's around the corner. I know you're gonna get me with something. I know this isn't the whole video.
Well, I'm going to get you right now because I don't know if you could believe this or not. This card was banned. They actually just put this card back to restricted to 1 on the like most recent ban list.
Brilliant Fusion?
Yep.
Brilliant Fusion?
Uh-huh.
From getting Seraphinite?
Yep. So something that you may not fully comprehend at this exact moment is that while it sounds dumb that with all the special summoning, like why do you care about an extra normal summon? 1 extra normal summon in our game can do a lot for a lot of different decks. And that's kind of like the restriction on these like normal summon type cards is that, oh, you can only normal summon them like 1 card per turn, right? But with Seraphinite enabling you to have a second normal summon, it opens the gateway for even more broken nonsense than like just being able to do all the special summoning stuff. Dumping a light monster from your deck to the graveyard, being able to like effectively, you know, kind of tutor a light monster. There's plenty of light monsters that say, like, when this card is sent to the graveyard, special summon it, right? So it's not even like you're just getting the Seraphinite, you're getting an extra body in addition to that to, like, do stuff with. So as a result, this card actually ended up getting banned because it was way too good. And they, like I said, it's still restricted as of the recording of this video. It is still limited to 1 copy.
Oh, it's starting off strong. Where does it say light monster? What? Oh, I see. As part of the materials. Okay. So you're saying something I need to know is that having a light monster get tutored straight to the graveyard is good.
Well, it's not even that really. It's just like because for context, we have a card in Yu-Gi-Oh called Foolish Burial that says send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. That card is literally restricted to one copy. So the fact that if there's any other card that allows you to just dump stuff to the graveyard for free, it's probably going to be good in some case or another because there's like probably a high value target to be able to send to that. So I'll quickly show you just like for context. This was the other card you typically dumped with the Brilliant Fusion. Give this a quick read.
Performage? Trick Clown? Performage, Trick Clown, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Performage monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its attack defense is 0, and then you take 1000 damage. You can only use this once per turn.
Yep.
Okay, so this is creating a little loop of materials.
Exactly. And so as long as you can always keep the Trick Clown like on your field in some way, or there's various different ways to do that. Like I said, you're getting the Seraphonite, so now you have 2 normal summons, and you get the Trick Clown. So you already have 2 monsters that Brilliant Fusion produced, one of which like recurs itself basically infinitely. And then you still have 4 other cards in hand, in your opening hand of 5, to be able to do stuff with. So it was just too much power for like one singular card. And now it's restricted to 1 copy. So, and got banned for, it was banned for like 8 years, I want to say. It was banned for a long time.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, we're going to have fun today. I'm already like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, here's your next one.
Predaplant Ophrys Scorpio. 1200 attack, 800 defense, level 3. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon 1 Predaplant monster from your deck, except Predaplant this. What? Oh, except for this exact card. So there are multiple Predaplant monsters, apparently. Great.
I'm about to show you
You can
one.
only use this once per turn. Okay.
So Scorpio is the 3 of that you would play in your deck, and this is the card. This is the Garnet in quotes.
The Darlingtania Cobra.
Close enough.
Sure. Why not? If this card is special summoned by the effect of Predaplant monster, you can add 1 polymerization spell card or fuse. Can we stop just getting cards to get more cards?
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh, buddy. That's what
the hell, man? Just get the thing already. Just get it with the first card. Okay. Get a spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this once per duel. Once per duel. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's going in. That's going hard on the once per turn thing. That's probably good for everybody.
So the play pattern is very simple. You summon Scorpio, you discard a monster, you summon Darlingtonia Cobra, and then Cobra adds you any fusion card that I may or may not have already showed you prior in this video to your deck to your hand.
Why the hell don't they just go get the fusion card with the other card? I don't get it, man. Why do we have to? Are you guys that addicted to shuffling? Is that what it is? You don't know what to do with your hands if you're not shuffling?
Oh yeah. You've seen me. We've played Commander. You see I do the hand flick thing. So
I do. You know what one of my favorite things to do at tournaments was? I memorize the cards in my hand and I just set them down on the table and I just stare right at my opponent. That's so fun. Unnerving that I'm the only one in the room not looking at my hand over and over and flicking cards. I'm just staring at them. Oh, they hate that. They hate that so much. Anyway, doesn't this just mean you can go get Brilliant Fusion?
It does.
But that's restricted. Why did they bother restricting it?
Good question.
So you just go tutor it up again.
Good question.
Are you going to tell me that they didn't? Okay. So does that mean they had to restrict the Predaplant?
That's what you have to figure out.
Are there more cards that do what the Predaplant does?
I want to say yes, but I think the Scorpios and the Darlingtonia Cobra, by extension, are probably the best ways of doing it. And so then so if you go Scorpio into Cobra and then get Brilliant Fusion, you've used your 1 normal summon, but then Brilliant Fusion gives you an extra normal summon because then you summon the Seraphonite. So now you're seeing the power of like these normal summon type effects. That's like...
Am I? So now you have a little bug and the Seraphonite. Is that good?
You would have the Bug, or you'd have the Scorpio, the Cobra, the Trick Clown, and the Seraphonite all on your board. And you'd still have a normal summon. You can still special summon as much as you want.
All right, you got dorks. You did it. You've got materials. What can you leverage them into? What's the thing that says your opponent doesn't get to play the game anymore? What's the card that lets you jump through 7 more hoops to draw 2 cards?
We might be showing you that. We might be showing you that later. We might be showing you that later.
We might be showing you that later. Right now, I'm just looking at your ability to shit out your hand is going so well for you. I'm so proud of you. So far, your dirtle is so real right now.
Yu-Gi-Oh's great, isn't it?
I hate it, dude. It's so stupid. What are we doing? I mean, I'm sure these can be leveraged into something amazing and it's a problem, but like already
for the purpose of evaluating this, you don't have to worry about that. Like, yes, you can, and that's part of the reason why these cards are good, but there's not like a particular thing that I need to show you that you leverage into that, like, you can evaluate these cards as they are, especially knowing that they can search like Brilliant Fusion, for instance.
You only really Brilliant Fusion once, right? Because you only have the material to do so once.
Correct. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, you only need to do it once.
Okay, so if that's the case,
you could play an extra Garnet and have your second Brilliant Fusion be live, but statistically, the math doesn't work out that you want to play more than one copy of a Garnet.
Yeah, so if they
and honestly, resolving Brilliant Fusion probably just won you the game most of the time anyway. So
really,
it's very good. It's very. I don't think you're fully grasping how good Brilliant Fusion is. But yes.
No, I just picture. You know what? I watched a Tier Elements video once, and
aware.
I picture this is kind of like you did a little bit of what that did is on turn 1. That's what I'm seeing. But like, it just doesn't get me. It just looks like a bunch of little crap.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's crap.
No, probably not if it got limited. All right, so the Scorpio, they limit Brilliant Fusion. You say if you cast Brilliant Fusion, you win the game. What's the point of limiting it when you have another chain that can just immediately go get it? Like,
you know, we like our redundancy.
I know, but like, what? How could they limit Brilliant Fusion and not limit this?
Good question.
Like, is going from 6 copies effectively to 4, and in a lot of ways the Predaplant is better, right? Because you get something else along the way.
You get a couple bodies.
To your Brilliant Fusion?
To be fair, though, the Scorpio could be interrupted, right? Because remember, we have hand traps in our game. So hypothetically, if your opponent has a way to negate the effect of the Scorpio in response to the activation, now you're just a sitting duck because you use your normal summon. The rest of your hand may not be good, and now you're kind of just sitting there with a Scorpio on the field doing nothing. Also,
Brilliant
Scorpio
Fusion not be interrupted?
There's also cards that can interrupt it too. But I'm saying if you don't already have the Brilliant Fusion, the Scorpio is like a choke point, you know?
It's like if they just didn't okay, if they left both this Scorpion and this Cobra legal, and I don't think you have to like hit the Cobra because you only want to run 1, like you said. If they just left this at 3 copies to still enable your Brilliant Confusion somewhat consistently and force you to run this little darling Tonya, whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me, dude. I have this weird feeling you're gonna tell me that they left this Scorpio legal at 3. And I would tell you Konami makes no sense. And you would say true.
Final answer?
No, I'm gonna go the logical route and say, okay, if they wanted to limit the Brilliant Fusion, they should limit this, because that's what makes sense. Like, if they're trying to reduce the amount of Brilliant Fusions cast, this reduces the way that the Brilliant Fusion is cast, or at least makes you tutor up this stupid plant somehow.
Final answer?
So, yeah.
This card's at 3. It's fine. Never been
touched.
Yeah,
of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Where's you saying
Why?
Konami makes no sense?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. We don't get explanations for bans, so I can't tell you.
This is your whole idea for this video was like, this makes no sense. He'll love it.
Oh, exactly. Actually, I did this with Raren a while ago, and a lot of people were actually requesting I do it with you, just from a deck building philosophy. So anyway, here's your next one.
Oh, I hate this deck. I hate this deck already. This is the opposite of everything I want in card games ever.
All these cards don't necessarily go in the same deck, for the record. I will say the first ones I've shown you, that was very common. But for moving on, that's not necessarily going to be the case.
Speedroid Terror Top. This says, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Speedroid monster from your deck to hand, except the Terror Top, once per turn.
Yep, and here would be your Garnet.
Speedroid take Tomborg.
That's pretty much dead on.
All right. How important is having some wind? It's a wind. If you control a wind monster, you can special summon this card. You contribute this card to special summon one Speedroid tuner from your deck.
I will let you know you can stop. The only part that matters is the first
Thank you.
sentence you already read. Yeah, I'll save you.
Jesus Christ. If you control a wind monster, you can special summon this from your hand. Okay, so the Terratop gets a 600, 1200.
Uh-huh.
And you can just put it in. All right, so it's just a thing you can normal summon or special summon if you have no monsters. That goes and gets you another special summon. Okay.
So you'd play 3 of the Terratop and 1 of the Takatomborg.
So good job. You are feeding Maxi so well.
You are, actually. Yeah,
Maxi
you are.
is eating good tonight. Okay. I mean, so this is like, I'm trying to think about it. You don't have card draw in your game, not without a lot of hoops. This is value in your game, and also in a form of, it seems like it's a kind of aggro, because maybe the numbers do start to add up if you're doing enough of this, like no limit to your summon and everything gets another thing. Then now you're looking at, like, instead of a 5-card hand, you have a 10-card hand. And maybe there's enough stats there to just bash through the opponent, even if they are kind of mid stats, like what do you call them? The things you fetch that you have one of? The garlands?
The Garnets. Yeah.
Garnets. Garland. I'm in the mood for Christmas, I guess.
Evidently.
Here in August.
In August.
In August. All right. So yeah, maybe it's just, if every card is 2 cards, maybe it's like Adventures in Magic, where it's just value overload, because Adventures was a deck. It's still a frustrating one to try to grasp.
Okay.
So if you run 3 of these Terratops, and you run 1 of these Take Tomborgs, when this is normal special summoned, add 1 from your deck. So, like, if you already got your 1, then the next one is just it's a special summon if you have nothing, or a normal summon for a 1200 attack that does nothing else, right?
Yep.
If you run 3, surely you're going to hit multiples of them at some point. Does getting a free level 3 600 attack 1200 defense make running 3 of this worth it? It must, or at least that's the idea. It wouldn't be a deck like,
you want to see something that makes it worth it? Would that help you?
What would make it worth it? So this is 2 wind monsters, right? So you're looking for something probably that you can get from your extra deck. Maybe
there you go.
Here, requires you to pay 2 wind things and wins you the game. What the hell? What is this? Is this a special print or something? Where did this come from? Is this a different game?
Here, I'll show you a better image.
It's so... Why? No, this is cool. Like, what? How do you have 1 cool card in your game? What? Why does this one get to be black? What's going on?
Remember, it's an Xyz monster. When you read it, it'll make sense.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not a level. God, what was it called when these are on that side? I know
Can
this.
you remember?
I knew this. Senpai Simo is grading me. Dang it, I can't remember what it is. Of course it is. All right, Totem Bird. 2 level 3 wind monsters. Where did those come from? During either player's turn, when a spell trap card is activated, you can detach 2 Xyz materials from this card, negate the activation. If you do destroy it, this card loses 300 attack while it has no materials.
So remember, Xyz monsters, you take 2 monsters of the corresponding level, so in this case 3, and they're also winds. You put them on top of one another, and then you go into your extra deck and you put the Totem Bird on top of those.
And now you have some interaction for spells and traps during either player's turn. How do you reattach things to it?
You need specific cards that do it. For the most part, most Xyz cards don't allow you to do that.
So more likely this is 1 negate. Basic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Auto body.
Yep. That you basically got your 1900 negate 1 thing item from 1 card in your hand, and it didn't even cost you a summon, right?
Correct. You still have your normal summon, assuming you're doing this turn 1, let's say.
I mean, okay, like, this must be some kind of a cumulative thing, because on its own it still feels like good, honest Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 bullshit.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't seem like this is particularly unique from the things that you've shown me in the past. So this must be like This must be a cumulative. If everything does this, the sum is greater than its parts, you know?
Sure. There's other things besides Totem Bird. I'm just showing you like an example.
Yeah.
If you want, I can show you another card.
You can leverage this into something much better, is basically what you're showing me.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! At the end of the day, right? Is that it's always taking, your stuff and then going into the extra deck and making, like, other broken stuff.
So, I'm supposed to figure out if the Terratop is a problem. This just seems like a part of your game.
So maybe it's fine. Maybe it's a lemon.
Yeah,
maybe it's a lemon.
So I'm having a, good, yeah, I totally get it. And if it were in Magic at a reasonably low price, 100% it would get played. I'm not saying it's trash, but it does seem par for the course at the power level that we play at. If not even a little less than, I figure you might be able to cheat out something even better with the way the game currently is. So I'm still I don't know what it is, dude. I can't get too impressed by these. It's not working. It's not working. This is fine. There's no way they had to restrict and ban this too, right? Right?
Final answer?
Yeah.
They did restrict Terratop.
Oh my God, what is going on? What the hell is the problem?
So just being able to go Terratop on your first turn, get Takatomborg, special Takatomborg. There's a plethora of things you can do with just 2 monsters on the field. You can make a Totem Bird. You can make a Cherubini, which is a card I haven't shown you. There's a lot of other, just things in the extra deck that having 2 materials and being level 3 in some instances lets you just start doing stuff without you even committing to a normal summon. So for a short period of time, Terratop was actually limited to a singular copy because it was played in... I don't want to say every deck, but a lot of decks played it just because it was 2 free bodies to do stuff with. And then they restricted it and it never saw play because obviously having it at 1 is way worse. But the thing is that you have to realize with this video is that even though it might seem like playing 3 of one card and 1 of another to enable that card is bad because if you draw the other copies, then they don't do anything. That doesn't matter because in our game, turns Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes so fast that you are happy to take the risk of drawing another one of those cards that's not going to do anything, like a second copy of Brilliant Fusion, for instance. If you resolve 1 copy, you're happy. And so a lot of these instances, it's if you see the 1 card, even if you draw it in multiples, you're going to feel really good about it. And so Terratop was one of those cards. This is a relatively, it's on the border of a Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 card. But it saw widespread play, and they did restrict it for a period of time.
Oh my God. I mean, this might be crazy. Give me the draw to. Just give me draw. It's more fun to rip cards off the top than do all this. Oh, I automatically get this one other thing that does this one. I searched my library 3 times based on 1 card that just happened. I just don't get it, man. It's so not for me. Okay.
So speaking of which, here's another Garnet. So this one, these next couple are Garnets, but they don't have a 3 of that they play in accordance with the card. And it'll make sense when I show you both of these cards here. So give this a read.
Because I'm sure it's because they're all banned. Okay. Mare Mare. The hell is this? It cannot be special summoned, I guess so, except by the effect of a worm monster.
I'll be showing you that momentarily.
During your main phase, you can reduce this card's level 1. Wait, no, you can reduce this card's level by 1. And if you do, special summon 1 mini Mare Mare token. Oh, Jesus Christ, why is this happening? It's got some stats, I guess. That probably doesn't matter. You're just using it for materials anyway.
You're learning.
You can only use this effect up to thrice per turn. They put
in
thrice
the art,
on a card.
Yeah, look in the art.
Thrice on a damn card.
There's 3 little seahorses, right? So you could summon 3 of them. That is a Garnet because you never want to draw that card. But here is the card that gets you to the Mare Mare.
Yazi, Evil of the Yang Zing. Wow. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Attack is 2600, defense is 2100. It's a worm. It needs a tuner and a non-tuner. Your opponent cannot target this card on the field with card effects. Always a good start. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. Either you can target 1 Yangzing monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls and destroy them, or when this card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon one worm monster from your deck in defense position.
So to quickly correct you, you can use both effects in the same turn. It's not either or. You can only just use. You can only use each effect once per turn. So if you had like 2 Yazis, you can't use the effects twice, for instance.
But you can do both. Okay.
You can do both at the same turn.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, wait. Doesn't that just mean this? Can it destroy itself?
It can. Very perceptive.
Yeah, so it just destroys itself. You destroy their favorite thing ever, and you go get another worm in defense position.
What is Mare Mare?
Oh god, it's a worm. Cannot be special summoned except by the effect of a worm monster. How convenient.
How convenient.
And then, so during your main phase, does that mean the main phase when you summoned this as well?
Yeah, it's any main phase while it's on the field.
Okay, so this comes onto the field. It is during your main phase still, and you can reduce this card's level by 1 to make a token.
Yep.
And you
Thrice
can do it
per
again.
Turn. Thrice
and
per
you can
turn.
do it again. Yeah. And then you could use it as material or something after that too.
You have 4 things on the field to use as material.
Oh my god. So if you started with the Yazi, then you get to blow up their best thing and also get this and 3 more things.
To go into other things.
Is this a extra deck monster, right?
Yazi is an extra deck monster, yes. Mare Mare's in the main deck. Again, that's the Garnet here. You never want to draw Mare Mare. Because if you draw Mare Mare, you can't summon it off the Yazi.
So Mare Mare is a tuner.
It is a tuner.
But the worm is not, right? It's a
the
non-tuner?
Yazi?
No,
the
the Mare token. The Mare token,
token is
a
not.
non-tuner?
So you can hypothetically make another synchro summon with this. Yes, you are correct.
Oh, good. Okay. Doesn't this go back in the extra deck when it dies?
No, they go to the graveyard.
Oh, okay. I must be thinking of.
You're thinking like
if it
command
gets shuffled into the deck or something.
Yeah, if it gets shuffled into the deck, it goes back to the extra deck. Or if it gets returned to the hand, it goes back to the extra deck. Yeah.
But you could just run like 3 Yazis in your extra deck, right?
Hypothetically, you could.
If you wanted to really have access to a lot of this, or just something else that has similar summoning requirements, and you can get that too. Oh, how fun. Oh my goodness.
Isn't that fun?
Okay, then. Yeah, why not? And then you still have like 2 more worms left over, even if you get rid of 1 worm and 1 Mare Mare.
Yep.
Oh my god. And they can attack the turn they come out. Everything has haste?
Everything has haste. Yep.
Oh my god. What am I trying to figure out? If Mare Mare got restricted or banned? But Mare Mare, is Mare Mare the thing you want 1 of, though?
Yeah, Mare Mare is a Garnet, so you'd only play 1 of it.
So restricted doesn't make sense. That's just encouraging people to play well. So you're asking me if this Fountain of Value got banned. It comes out, it makes multiple other dorks, and is a special summon for a Yazi all on its own, or if you don't have it, the Yazi gets it, all while blowing up their best thing. Would that get you banned? All right.
Would it help if I told you that you can make the 3 Mare Mare tokens and the Mare Mare itself into an OTK at 8,000 damage?
Huh?
I haven't shown you, but there are cards in the extra deck that you can take the Mare Mare and the tokens and make them, and you can just kill your opponent in 1 shot.
Are they? It's reasonable to do, like with.
Oh, that's why you
me?
play this combo. Yeah.
You have multiple tutors to get it.
I'm just giving you context.
Yeah. But that's almost too friendly.
You suspicious of me? I would never lead you astray.
I am.
I would never lead you astray.
I mean, there's 3 activations here. If you respond to trying to reduce its level once, can you in turn reduce the level 2 more times before it dies? How does your chain work for that?
Oh, so you'd have to activate the effect 3 times its sorcery speed. So you'd go like, Mare Mare hits the field, activate the effect to summon a token. Activate the effect, summon a token. Activate the effect, summon a token. It's not like you can stack all 3 activations like on the stack at once.
It's just at this point, you've shown me a few things that go get more things and apparently are problematic in your game. And then you show me this thing that makes a whole bunch of things. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, that's terrible.
Is it?
Is it? It can be interrupted. It can be interrupted.
Uh-huh.
You do kind of need the whole sequence to go off without a hitch.
And there are hand traps that can negate this, so it's not like that's impossible.
I mean, can this go in any deck?
As long as your deck can make Yazi, because remember, you have to need a tuner and a non-tuner. So as long as your deck can make a level 7 synchro, this combo is available to you.
A level 7 synchro. So that's the part where it's like, Is that what's going to actually keep this fine? Did a deck like this actually need a combo win con?
Good question.
In Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, maybe. Did they have to ban you, Mare Mare? Were you too good at what you did? You haven't shown me a card like this that just kind of breaks off into 4 bodies that didn't get hit. I'm thinking
Mare
of the
kind of
airplane.
unique. Mare Mare's kind of unique. Yeah, I don't
Remember,
think
yeah, like the Airbus or something. You showed me that, and
I showed
that
you
was
like
just.
I showed you like magical scientists that can summon hypothetically 7 fusion monsters from the extra deck.
Oh yeah, that's busted.
You thought that was very busted.
That's fine.
But I think Mare Mare is kind of unique in its effect. I can't think of like another card that does something like this, where it like reduces its level to summon a token. There might be like 1 or 2 other cards that do something similar to this.
I mean, I've gotten nothing right so far, so sure, ban the Mare Mare.
Ban the Mare Mare?
Do it. Get that thing out of my life.
Yeah, this card's fine.
I bet. Yeah.
Again, you're kind of restricted by the fact that Yazi can't be played in every deck. Some decks would go out of their way to like play Yazi, and there was cards that enabled level 7 synchros pretty generically. But for the most part, if your deck couldn't summon Yazi, then you couldn't do the Mare Mare play. And basically, it's like you figured out, you would go summon Yazi, pop their best thing, pop the Yazi, and then summon Mare Mare. You get 3 tokens. And then as long as you have 1 extra monster, at this point in time when Mare Mare was like played, as long as you had 1 extra monster on the field, you could kill your opponent that turn. Because there is a monster that you can make that I will just quickly show you, I guess, because I don't think I ever showed it to you, and I probably never will otherwise.
Borrelsword Dragon. Shiny. Shiny.
He is shiny.
It's a Link 4, 3000 attack. It requires 3 effect monsters. It cannot be destroyed by battle.
Before you keep going, so it says 3 effect monsters. Tokens don't count as effect monsters, but you can convert the tokens into other monsters from the extra deck to meet that requirement.
Okay. Yes, of course you can. Everything summons something. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn, quick effect. You can target 1 attack position monster, change it to defense position. Also, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can activate this effect. Until the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to half that monster's current attack. And if it does, that monster's current attack is halved.
So, as an example, let's say your opponent has a Blue Eyes White Dragon that has 3000 attack. You summon Borrelsword, you attack into it, you change one of your monsters to defense position, and then... you do that later. So you would attack into it, activate the last effect of Borrelsword. It gains 1500, and the Blue Eyes loses 1500. So now you have a 3000 point difference, and that's how much damage they take. Then you have either Mare Mare or whatever other monster you have on the field. That would get an attack in, and then you use Borrelsword Dragon to switch the Mare Mare or the other monster to defense position so that Borrelsword can attack again, and it still has the attack boost from when it first attacked, so it's 4500 going straight to your opponent's face if you hit them direct. So this is known as a Borrelsword OTK. This was like a finisher that a lot of extra decks would play. And so this is like the combo with like Yazi and Mare Mare and Borrelsword Dragon that if your opponent has like a clear board, then you just kill them straight up with this combo. And Yazi helped because Yazi would clear their best thing, or a back row, for instance, that would be a trap card to stop you from doing this. But most of the time, if you got to this point, the game was just effectively over.
Yeah, what turn does that happen?
That could happen as early as turn 1 if you wanted to.
Okay. I mean,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
when Magic has cards that do this, they eat bans, as we found out recently.
Nope.
And that's on like turn
fine.
2 and 3. Oh
Perfectly
my
fine.
god.
Speaking of OTKs, here's your next card.
Double or nothing. Awesome. Straight to Vegas. Let's go.
Let's go.
When a monster's attack is negated, target that monster. During this battle phase, it can attack again. If it does, its attack is doubled during the damage step only.
And here is this card to enable it from the extra deck.
Number 39, Utopia. When any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach an Xyz material from this card to negate the attack. When this card is targeted for an attack, while it has no Xyz materials, destroy this card. So you can use this now on your own things to get double.
Correct. And here's this card.
Number 39. Do they all this whole set just came like with the collector number of the card just printed right at the top. That's so convenient.
Yeah, it was something that they kind of did during this era. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
It doesn't have any attack. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure.
Quick effect, you can detach a material and add 1 double or nothing from your deck to your hand. Oh, why not? And this is out of the extra deck?
Oh, just wait, it gets better.
Oh, okay. The special summon from your extra deck 1 Utopia. Oh, yeah. Did they want this to happen?
Oh, wait, it gets better. Keep reading.
By using the face-up card you control as material, and then if you do, its attack is doubled. Why? The other card does that. You just got a card that did that. Why did you need to do it again? But it cannot attack directly. What are we doing? Why? What's the point of this?
So, just to give you the loop, you would summon Utopia Double using 2 level 4 monsters. You detach a material, you add double or nothing to your hand, then you summon Utopia on top of the Utopia Double, and its attack gets doubled to 5,000. Then if you activate double or nothing, you can double the 5,000 attack now to 10,000 attack. And remember, there's only 8,000 life points.
And it attacks twice?
It only attacks once because you negate your first attack with Utopia's effect to use double or nothing. So it kind of gets 2 attacks, but you're negating the first one.
How does it beat it cannot attack directly?
So if your opponent has a monster with 2,000 or less attack on the field and you have a 10,000 attack Utopia, they just die.
Oh, because of the trample, because everything tramples.
Everything tramples, yeah.
Huh.
Cool combo, huh?
I mean, I guess if you like your cards, like it literally says the combo on the cards. I mean, this is a whole other level of hand holding, the likes of which toddlers have never seen.
I will let you know, Utopia and Double or Nothing were printed well before Utopia Double was printed.
So somebody was in their office one day just messing around with Double or Nothing in Utopia and being like, these cards are sweet, but you know what would make them sweeter? A card that literally just gave you all of it so that you didn't have to worry about drawing your cards, because this is Yu-Gi-Oh!
I will let you know, this combo got a player to the World Championship, as a matter of fact.
I believe you. Oh my God. No, I mean, if you're going to play aggro in this game, this is kind of what you want, right? You want to knock them out. When you have I feel like in Yu-Gi-Oh, when you have a window to win, you better win, because next turn, you're probably going to lose. If you ain't...
Oh, you're going on your rant. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was just going to Ricky Bobby this and say, if you ain't first, you're last.
Correct.
That's all I was going to say.
Correct. The thing is, this is showing the toolbox of the extra deck, right? Because it's like, since these cards, aside from Double or Nothing, are played in the extra deck, at any point, if you have 2 level 4s and your opponent has a monster on the field that's like wide open, you just kill them. And that's something that if you play level 4s in your deck, you have access to. Similar to like the Boral Sword combo I showed you with Yazi. If your deck can make a level 7 synchro, you have access to kill your opponent on the spot.
And that was fine.
That was fine. Is this fine too?
Is this fine? Why would they make this card if it's not fine? Like, surely they tested it.
Surely they tested it. Yeah, surely.
Surely it's fine. I mean, you can play around it.
You can.
Or can you? Are there ways to infest your opponent's board with a perfectly sized monster to trample over? To just hand them like a thrall or something that you can stomp over?
You can do that, yes.
What a strategy. There's no way a strategy like that could win a world championship, right? That's too janky. That's too weird.
Take it to the world championship, not at the world championship.
Oh, well, come on. That's fine. Anybody can take any bad strategy to the world championship. What are we talking about? What are these? The best players in the world or something?
I know,
Okay.
crazy. Weird.
I don't know, man. So I look at this. Why did they do this? Why did they spoon feed you a combo that people surely already knew about and add a level of consistency? Clearly they wanted this. So it's definitely one of those cases where if they did this and then banned this later, that should be a bad look. That should be a, like, if in Magic, if this happened, the whole community would be, ha ha, Wizards, ha ha, you messed around and found out, ha ha. And Konami doesn't seem to care, so would they? That's not like a discouraging thing here. They might have literally just printed this, spoon-fed you a combo, and then banned it or something. But here's the thing: I look at this, Double or Nothing, double power, punch right through something. Oh my God! That probably gets people to play the game. That probably lets people feel alive for a hot minute, you know? That's the dopamine rush they're looking for. This looks like the kind of thing that would get people to play your game. I don't think they want to ban this. It would have to be incredibly problematic. And you know what you said? You said somebody played this at the World Championship. You didn't say everybody played this at the World Championship, Cimo. I'm saying this is fine.
And you are correct, CGB, for the first time in this video. This combo is totally fine. Again, it is, unless you're playing level 4 monsters, you don't have access to this combo, right? And it's like, there are ways to interact with it to, like, prevent it from happening. But, like I said, it got summoned to the World Championship. It was a combo that, again, similar to the Yazi combo, that some people could play and other decks couldn't. And so, just one of the decisions when playing whatever deck you want to play, to what options you have. And so, yep, this is totally fine.
Nice. I mean, it does look fun.
It's fun. It is very fun when you get to do this combo. It is for sure. All right, we got a few left. Here's your first 3. We're going back to the 3. In this case, the 3-2 ratio, as a matter of fact, because you have to play 2 bad Garnets for this card to be good.
2 bad Garnets. Oh God, it must be broken in half.
You'll see.
Neo's fusion. Yep, the Matrix. It's pretty good. Pretty good. You can fly now. All right. Special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck. It's already busted. That lists exactly 2 monsters as material, including Elemental Hero Neos.
I will show you him momentarily.
By sending those monsters from your hand, deck, or field, ignoring its summoning conditions. For the rest of this turn, after its card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters. If a fusion monster you control that lists Elemental Hero Neos as material would be destroyed by battle or effect, or shuffled into the extra deck by its own effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead.
So, here's our good friend Neos. He's just a vanilla. He doesn't do anything. He's like Blue Eyes White Dragon. He's just a guy. Big number. This is also Rainbow Dragon. This card also, it has an effect, but you don't have to worry about it because it sucks, and you only play it because this is what you're summoning off of Neos Fusion.
Rainbow Neos. Oh my God, that's so many stars. Jesus. 4,500 attack, 3,000 defense. Elemental Hero Neos and 1 ultimate crystal monster are the requirements we do not care about. Must be fusion summoned with the above materials. Yeah, okay. Once per turn, 1 of these effects. Send 1 monster you control to the graveyard. Shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. Send 1 spell trap you control the graveyard. Shuffle all spells and traps into the deck. I'm sensing a pattern. Summon. Nope. Spend 1 card from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Shuffle all cards from your opponent's graveyard into the deck.
Cool card, huh?
Once per turn? So your turn and theirs?
No, it's not a quick effect. So you can only do this at sorcery speed. Rainbow Neos is a bit old to where quick effects weren't as prevalent.
Old but seasoned. Oh my God. I mean, the monster can even be this.
You can shuffle itself, and notably, read that last sentence on Neos Fusion once again.
Uh-huh. You mean the one that is like you can discard this instead or whatever, or banish this? What is it?
Yep, it exiles. It's the Neos Fusion, and it basically substitutes for the Neos Fusion downside, if you will, or the Rainbow Neos downside.
Yeah, so it can destroy itself for one of these effects, but the destruction is replaced by the Neos Fusion that gave you the summon in the first place. Wow, do you think that putting Neos on all these cards was holding their hands enough? Apparently not after the last card.
So you have 2 Garnets here. You have to play the bad Elemental Hero Neos and the bad Rainbow Dragon. But we call these soft Garnets. So the reason why we call it a soft Garnet is because if you read Neos Fusion, it says sending the monsters from hand, deck, or field to the graveyard. So the reason why it's a soft Garnet is because even if you draw it, most of the time with Garnets, like with Brilliant Fusion and Gemini Garnet, if you have the Garnet in your hand, you cannot activate the Brilliant Fusion unless you shuffle it back into the deck somehow. So it's a soft Garnet in the sense that you can still activate Neos Fusion even if you draw the Neos or the Rainbow Dragon. They just are really bad cards you don't want to draw under any circumstances. So you're still able to play the Neos Fusion, but you're losing more cards than you'd want to because you want to send them from the deck to the graveyard to make it, like, free, if you will.
I mean, you didn't want them anyway. So it's
yeah, because they're
like,
bad. Exactly.
Who really cares, right?
I'm just making a difference here in terms of our lexicon, if you will.
The hell, dude? What are we doing here? All right. So you make a summoning mechanic. You make all these tuners and materials. You make all these little pieces so that you have a cost and everything isn't just free. And then every now and then, you just got to mess around and find out. You just have to print these cards that say, well, let's ignore all those requirements and just get it for free. Why? What's the point? What's the damn point, dude? What?
To get people to play the fun cards. That's why.
All right, so I'm supposed to figure out if they had to do something about Neo's fusion.
Correct. I can let you know that Rainbow Neos, regular Neos, and Rainbow Dragon have never been touched.
Is there any reason you couldn't put this in any deck, this package?
That's a good question.
If this could easily be your only fusion monsters. If you just ran 3 of these, every one of these you draw becomes... It just becomes Rainbow Neos and an activation. Why? Why? Why did we have to... Should everybody get to have this? It seems kind of stupid that you have a self-contained 1 card that becomes this level of bullshit.
Okay.
And it's free, and everything has haste. It just requires a bunch of extra steps and shuffling. And it is brilliant economy-wise, because you have to collect, 6 cards for basically 1. I get it for the monetary side, I guess. Dude, do you want every deck to be running this? Here's the thing. What's the situation where this is fine? Every deck has access to stuff like this, and every deck is doing stuff like this. That sounds like maximum Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. Even in what I understand about Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, where it seems like there are a lot of cards trying to do Rainbow Neos level things, Rainbow Neos seems even extra because of the amount of, it's the whole graveyard. It's all of their monsters. Mm-hmm. Now, it is sorcery speed.
It is sorcery speed.
That's the only thing I can say for it as a limiter.
And I think it's just because it's a fact that it's an old card.
Right. So any minute they're going to print double Rainbow Neos. So it's the same card, but instant speed, right? And
double
hell,
Rainbow
give it
Neos.
6,000 attack.
Yeah, why not?
Who cares?
Who cares?
I can't think of many decks that don't want this. I can't think of a reason not to have this in every deck.
Okay.
It does feel like if you limit the fusion, now the odds are 1 in 3 that you're going to draw the Elemental or the Rainbow Dragon, and now it's a lot worse because you have to run all 3 for it to work. So I think that that's a decent solution. If this is just legal at 3 copies, then this is 5 spots in every deck and 1 spot in every extra deck. That's just this thing that wasn't supposed to be this simple. It was not supposed to be this easy, clearly. To wipe your whole field or set back your whole graveyard or clear your whole back row. I mean, the only thing I can see is maybe sorcery speed is a much harder limitation, because I've seen so many quick effects for the last year that I'm a little desensitized to it. But in Magic, sorcery speed versus instant speed is significant. So that's the only thing I can see that makes this okay.
I would agree with that for Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. As Yu-Gi-Oh's age, quick effects are more and more prevalent, and so being a sorcery speed, ignition type effect is definitely a limiter for sure. Because your opponent can interact with it before you get the chance to fire it off.
I still don't think you want every deck just doing this easily. This seems nonsense. In Magic, there are some colors that have access to board wipes and some that have access to graveyard hate. This thing just doing all of it doesn't feel right to my Magic brain. So I'm going to say it got hit.
Okay, so restricted, banned. What are you thinking?
I mean, I would restrict it.
So Rainbow Neos is really interesting. Early on, no one played this card because it was too hard to summon. No one wanted to play Neos and Rainbow Dragon and polymerization, which means you had to have all those cards in your hand. So with the release of Neos Fusion, I want to say almost a decade later, it made it incredibly easy to summon Rainbow Neos because now you can just send the cards directly from the deck to the graveyard. And it had upside because it also then had the ability to exile itself to sort of replace part of Rainbow Neos' effect. And on the release with Neos Fusion, this card did in fact see play, unsurprisingly, because being able to shuffle all your opponent's monsters back into the deck is crazy. It doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, so anything that would be summoned from the extra deck goes back to the extra deck. Stuff that has protection from targeting and destruction would lose to this card. Very strong effect. The spell and trap destruction was, I'd probably say the worst of the 3 effects, because it just, like, it sometimes would come up, but for the most part not. But surprisingly, this card was primarily used for the graveyard effect, as a matter of fact, because during this time, there was very strong, unsurprisingly, graveyard-focused strategies that if Rainbow Neos resolved and shuffled their whole graveyard into the deck, they probably lost the fucking game. It may surprise you that not every deck was playing this combo. It was only used in some decks, and it was only played for like a very short period of time. And as such, it's totally fine. Never got hit.
Is it that bad to draw one of the pieces that other decks just, or did they just have access to better cards that do the same thing, that is shuffling your opponent's whole graveyard in something that a lot of things can do?
So obviously in Yu-Gi-Oh, we don't have as many turns that our game takes, right? Going first, this combo does nothing. And we really like focus on going first a lot in our game because, again, we don't have a mulligan and such. So going first, you're never going to summon Rainbow Neos because it doesn't do anything. Your opponent doesn't have a board, right? So it's kind of reactive. Being sorcery speed, I think, is also a downside because Yu-Gi-Oh has so much like quick effect interaction, instant speed interaction, that you could deal with a Rainbow Neos before its effect resolved. And granted, Neos Fusion can protect Rainbow Neos, because if it were to be destroyed, you can just banish the Neos Fusion. So they kind of have like 2 layers to get through if they want to destroy it. For certain effects, it bypasses that, because I believe Neos Fusion says if it's just destroyed, just want to double check here, would be destroyed by battle or card effect or shuffled to the extra deck by its own effect. So bounce spells would get rid of it. Things that shuffle it back into the deck would get rid of it. There was ways to sort of like check this card. And also it has the restriction where you can't special summon for like the rest of the turn after the fact, which typically if you're playing this card, you would use this at like the end of your, like, whatever you're doing with your deck. Like, it's like, okay, I've done everything. Now I slam Neos Fusion. Not to say like it didn't win games for people or anything like that. It's a very strong card, but it's, I think also part of it, like you said, is like the fact that you play 2 Garnets that are really bad, we really value like our opening hands. And so like sometimes like you would just draw like the Garnets and they don't do anything. And then like you can't do as much as you could do if you were playing other cards that are not the Neos Fusion package, as we call it. So like I said, some decks played it and it was totally great for them. And other decks just felt that they could do better things, that they didn't need to rely on this combo.
Huh.
It's mind-blowing, I know, because this card reads like it's insane. And it is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane. But like I said, some decks were just doing better things that they didn't need this combo, which is, you know, very Yu-Gi-Oh 2 in a lot of ways. So
I guess so. Interaction of any kind sucks. It's too slow. Got it.
I guess. All right, we got 2 packages left. So here's a 3-1 package for you.
Psi Frame Gear Gamma?
Correct. You got it.
Cannot be normal summoned. Must be special summoned by card effect when your opponent activates a monster effect while you control no monsters. Quick effect! You can special summon both this card from your deck and 1 Psi-Frame Driver from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and if you do, negate that activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. During the end phase, banish the face-up monsters special summoned by this effect.
So here's the Garnet. It's a soft Garnet, so if it's in your hand, you can still use the Gamma, but he's just a guy. He's just a vanilla guy that does basically nothing.
2500 kapow. Got it.
Yep. He does have an attack stat. Like, you could theoretically attack with him, but that does not happen very often.
That's it? That's all? That's the package?
This is the package. You play 3 Gamma and 1
thing?
Driver.
I mean, it's interaction.
It's a hand trap.
What's wrong with that? Special summon both this card from your hand and 1 of these from the deck and destroy that monster. If you do, negate the activation, destroy the monster. During the end phase, banish the face-up monster special summoned by this effect.
Yep, so you would, hypothetically, if your opponent does something, you would activate Gamma in response, negate and destroy whatever the card is. You summon both that and the Driver, and then during the end of your turn, they would get banished. They go away.
What's so bad about this?
What's bad about it?
It's a counter spell.
It's basically a counter spell on a body. Yeah.
It costs you another thing in your deck. You kind of only use it once. I guess you would combine this with things that needed exactly this type of card in a graveyard or something, because that's where you're sending it directly. Maybe that's the combo. Otherwise, it's just otherwise it's a counter spell. What's wrong with that? It's fine. What am I missing?
What are you missing?
When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control no monsters. So you have to have no monsters. There's even like a limiter on it. Mm-hmm. You have to have this in your hand. No, in your deck.
The driver.
Wait, this card is from your hand.
Yeah. Gamma would be in your hand. Driver can be anywhere.
So in Magic terms, it's a Doom Blade. It just destroys target thing. How rare is that in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, it negates and destroys. It doesn't just destroy.
It's a counterspell.
Yeah, it's a counterspell.
Banish the face-up monster special summoned. I cannot be normal summoned or set at all. Must be special summoned by card effect.
Which is its own effect in this case.
Yeah, which is usually its own effect. Yeah, it's a counterspell. What's wrong with this? I don't get it.
Final answer?
There must be some kind of an extra payoff with cards I'm not seeing, or this is just counterspell. And I get it. People hate counterspell, but interaction, like... I guess I should ask you what era this is, but this has all been pretty recent. Is this recent?
Relatively. I think Gamma was like 2014. Let's take a quick look here. 2015. I was very close.
So when was Tearlaments?
2022.
Well, I don't remember seeing any counter spells stopping that deck.
Maybe it got
That makes
banned.
me suspicious.
Yeah.
Why the hell would they ban one of the only like kind of universal stop the opponent from winning the game thing? Is it because everybody would then play this? Is that a problem? Are they worried about everybody playing Frame Driver? Does every deck start with 3 of these and 1 of those? And people were like, well, we got to chill that out because it's too ubiquitous.
Okay.
Is it that hard to get an answer like this? Is it that unique?
I will answer this way. It's a hand trap. There is no other hand trap that that's not true. There are very few hand traps that negate and destroy the monster. Typically, the hand traps either negate something or they destroy something, but not both.
Then there is a real kind of question. Do you want every deck to start with 4 cards less, basically?
Okay.
Because where is this bad? I mean, we just said a minute ago, any kind of a reactive deck is too slow. But this is a quick effect, which is a big deal. It seems like it would be in everything. Is that level of ubiquity the problem? I do feel like it is weird to use meta in this case, but I do feel like if this were around, there would be more ways to interact with the likes of Abyss Dweller and Tearlament's like engine pieces.
I will say,
feels like
Gamma was actually a very good answer to Dweller because typically they fire Dweller during like your draw phase or something when you can't really interact. So Gamma was actually one of the few things to counter an Abyss Dweller.
And I just haven't seen it played that much, and it feels like it should have been.
Okay.
Just immediately, I'm like, kind of should be. It's weird to have a cost on a reactive piece of including a piece of crap creature. That's something that I think Magic could learn from, is like a way to somehow force us to run win cons in our blue decks. Even if they're especially bad vanilla creatures, that would be funny. Fine. We'll say it got hit. I mean, it's possible it's still
restricted.
I would restrict it, but it seems to me like it might have gotten banned. Just as being too ubiquitous, like I said. But to me, it seems like it doesn't even have to be, because some decks can't be that reactive. If you just have a handful of these, it's a downside. Maybe the right number is, but yeah, I'll say it got hit for the hell of it. But man, I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, now you're making me choose all the time. It's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Kind of make it a little bit more difficult for you.
I think restricting does the job, because now it's 50-50 that you draw the driver. So I'll say restricted.
You are correct, as a matter of fact. So Gamma has a really interesting trajectory. Initially, upon release, it didn't really see much play. Something you may have missed is that if you go first and have Frame Gear Gamma, as long as you don't put monsters in the main monster zone, or on the field at all, rather, you can Gamma your opponent's hand trap out of their hand. So let's say you go activate spell card to special summon monster out of the deck. Your opponent chains Max C to draw a card. You can, in response to that, because you don't control any monsters if this is the first play you're making, activate Frame Gear Gamma as Chain Link 3 to actually destroy and negate Max C out of your opponent's hand. So it was one of like the counters to Max C, if you will. So slowly over time, people started to realize that they can use Gamma not just like reactively if they go second to stop their opponent from doing something, but they can also use it proactively. As long as they don't commit monsters to the field, they can use it to stop their opponent's disruption. And then it gets kind of nasty, because not only do you stop like their max C or whatever hand trap, you also have 2 bodies on the field now that you can do something with. Notably, Cyframe Your Gamma is a tuner. There is a synchro monster that's within this archetype that you can make, or you can just use them for other stuff like link summons or whatever. So you got 2 free bodies, and you took a card out of your opponent's hand, essentially. Gamma eventually became like ubiquitous, where like every deck was playing it. And then people eventually just realized how good this card was, and so it became ubiquitous. And then it got hit, and they restricted it. And restricting it's very interesting, because you would think people wouldn't play it because of, like you said, the 50-50 of, like, you might draw the driver and it's a bad draw. Some people actually still play Gamma as a one-of, even though, like, the risk is a lot higher, because Gamma is just that good of a hand trap. There's really no other hand trap that does what Gamma does, even with all of its downsides. And even with the restrictions on it, some people still feel that it's worth playing because it's that powerful. Like I said, there's very few hand traps that both negate and destroy. And so having one card that does all of that is very powerful. So you got it correct. I'm actually impressed. I was not thinking you were going to get that one.
Woo. It was a close call.
All right. Last little package here. We're going back to fusions, baby.
Oh, good. Fusion Destiny. It's a spell. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists a Destiny hero monster as material, using monsters from your hand or deck as fusion material, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except dark hero monsters. Just why did we need that? Anyway, you can only activate 1 Fusion Destiny per turn.
That's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Balances cards, where it's like it'll lock you into only being able to summon cards of like a certain attribute, a certain name, things like that. So let's show you the Garnets here. They actually have effects, unfortunately, so you do have to read them.
Destiny Hero Celestial. When this card declares an attack, you can target 1 face-up spell your opponent controls and destroy it, and if you do, 500 damage to your opponent. While you have no cards in your hand except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, while you have no cards in your hand except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and 1 Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard and draw 2 cards. Oh, I see. You can only use this effect once per turn.
I thought you'd like that because it has draw on it. All right, here's the second Garnet.
Busted. This is a Garnet? Run this just to run this, baby. Draw 2? Are you kidding me right now? Dasher. Once per turn, you can tribute 1 other monster. This card gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. If this card attacks, change it to defense position at the end of the battle phase. Once, while this card is in your graveyard, when you draw a monster during your draw phase, you can reveal it, special summon it. This card must be in the graveyard to activate and to resolve this.
So another Garnet, technically speaking. And here is the payoff for playing Fusion Destiny.
The Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. All the summoning stuff probably doesn't matter. Monsters your opponent controls lose 200 attack for each hero card in your graveyard. Hold up.
Materials you send are both heroes. So at minimum 400.
Yep. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. Quick effect, you can destroy both 1 card you control and 1 card on the field. If this card is destroyed by battle or effect, you can activate this effect, special summon 1 Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard during the standby phase of your next turn. Everything just keeps going. Brrr. Great. You can target 1 face. I already forgot what the first 2 did. I read so long. I mean, is 1 big pile of numbers.
So for a quick recap, Celestial, for all intents and purposes, you just banish it and a hero to draw 2. Dasher, at any point during your draw phase, if you draw a monster, you just get to special summon it for free. And then Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer sinks everything by 200 for each hero in your grave, which you already have 2 by default, so it's already 400 minimum. And then it once per turn as a quick effect, it pops any other card you control and any card your opponent or any other card on the field, excuse me. It doesn't have to be your opponent controls. And then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon it during the next standby phase.
And this Fusion Destiny is basically, I have this card in my hand. I have these cards in my deck. I have that thing in the extra deck. And now this just happens. And when these two are in the graveyard, well, you have no... So the turn after this, you get to draw 2, potentially, is like kind of built into this.
Uh-huh.
And then the other card is you can potentially special summon something for free when you draw a monster during your draw phase.
Uh-huh.
And you get to destroy something
every
you just
turn.
do on their turn and yours.
It's a quick effect.
And all that's built into one card, the Fusion Destiny.
Uh-huh.
Dude, what the why? Why? You can't have draw 2, but you can have this all attached to one card?
Uh-huh.
And that... Oh, God, I want to just ban it out of annoyance. Just print Pot of Greed. It's simpler and more fun. I swear to God it is. Okay. One card gets all of it. Is this better than the other things we've seen? Mare Mare is fine. OTK combo is fine. The double or nothing combo is fine. Neo is fine. Totally fine. A good honest counter spell is not fine. Jesus Christ. So, you really can't have somebody stop this shit. That's where they draw the line. Okay. The Speedroid Terrortop was not fine. Totem Bird is a problem. Oh my God. And then Brilliant Fusion. What happened to Brilliant Fusion? It got banned?
It got banned. It's at 1 right now.
This seems so much better than Brilliant Fusion to me.
Okay.
It really does.
Yeah, you can think that. That's fine. I'm not saying anything.
Destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. I mean, that basically lets it do the whole thing. And you get the 2 cards. And you might get a free summon. It feels like it's Pot of Greed. Like, it feels like Fusion Destiny is Pot of Greed plus when you look at it that way.
Okay. That's a fair analysis. Yeah.
How busted would a card be if it were just like, you set this, and the next turn you draw 2? I feel like you have that card, and it had a lot of downsides, and it was still good. But that was in pretty old Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't remember the name of it, but I feel like I've seen this. So when did this happen? When did these cards come together?
Good question. So Fusion Destiny was printed first, I believe, which was 2019 is when Fusion Destiny was printed. Both Dasher and Celestial are pretty old. I want to say Dasher's like 2005 or 2006. And Celestial's, what was Celestial printed? 2016, actually. So he's kind of like in the middle. And then Phoenix Enforcer was printed in 2021. So he's sort of the glue that brought it all together.
Yeah. I mean, if these cards were doing this in the 2010s or like the early 2010s or further back, that'd be busted in half. This didn't come together till
2021, right before Tier 11.
This didn't come together till 2021. And so now in that phase, you do this thing, you pull this out, and then the opponent takes their turn. How dead are you in Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 land if the opponent doesn't interact with your graveyard or your board through disruption in a meaningful way? It seems like they do. It seems like they interact with this stuff all the time. Can you really expect to get to your next turn with everything intact the way you want it to also get your draw to and everything else? It feels now like a turn is forever. Back in the day, a turn was just like that turn 2 was a given. Now it's not. So how much of this resource being on that timer, it seems like there's a lot of points for interaction, even though it can negate some of that itself. It can destroy something, but it still feels like there's a lot of points for interaction. Oh, by the way, every deck can go get their Rainbow Neos and just shuffle these back in. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! 2, baby. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. I bet they don't even run it. I bet lots of decks are like, I can probably do like 8 other busted things that don't like rely on me having stuff in my graveyard for a turn cycle and take up 2 spots in my deck in addition to the other 3 spots that Fusion Destiny requires. Yeah, let's go with it. This is fine.
Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer was a fucking menace when it was printed. Every deck can play this card, hypothetically, as long as you just use Fusion Destiny as like the last thing you're doing because it has the restrictions on it. Basically, any deck could play this card, which was disgusting. something you may have missed with DPE, as we call him, is that it says quick effect, you can destroy both one card you control and one card on the field. You can just pop himself, because his other effect is if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, that includes his own effect, you can activate this effect to special summon a Destiny hero from your graveyard during the standby phase of the next turn. So, this card was incredibly annoying, because even if you had removal for it, they could just go chain Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, pop itself and any other card, and now it's just going to come back, right? So anything like to bounce it back to the extra deck, any of those types of effects, he has not only destruction, but he also has like his own way to dodge removal, which is incredibly infuriating to play against. So in your example with like...
Have they considered just getting Rainbow Neos and shuffling it back in? Have they
considered that? But the thing is, so Rainbow Neos would activate its effect to shuffle all monsters on the field into the deck. Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer can just chain his own effect to destroy himself. Now he's no longer on the field, and he'll come back the next turn. Now, if they already did that, and you summon Rainbow Neos, he's in the graveyard, so you can shuffle him back into the deck. And Rainbow Neos was played during the time that Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer was also played. You know, just because it had that interaction that it could actually sort of deal with a Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer in that way. But... even with all that, even though this card was like massively played in every single deck, there's another card I haven't shown you that also makes it even easier to summon this. Fusion Destiny got semi-restricted, which means it was at 2 copies for 2 ban lists, and that was it. Then they put it back to 3. I think that's when Tear Element got released and no one was playing Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer anymore. And that's it. Like this combo and this card is totally fine.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Oh my god.
Let me show you one final card, which is funny because it's actually a Predaplant, which we looked at earlier. And I don't know if I'm ever going to show you this in any other context, so I think this is probably the best time to show you. Give this final card a read, and then we can wrap things up.
Yep, that's a Predaplant. Oh my goodness. These are Piranha Plants out of Mario, just in card form. It's a Verte Anaconda. You can target one face-up monster on the field. It becomes dark until the end of this turn. You can pay 2,000 life points and send one fusion or polymerization normal or quick play spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. You can only use each effect of this once per turn. What?
So, this card just straight up tutors, essentially, or rather copies the effect of a Fusion Destiny or a Rainbow or Neos Fusion or whatever. And so this is what I was talking about when it's dangerous just to even have 2 monsters on the field. Because even if your opponent disrupts you, you can take those 2 cards, make a Verte, pay 2,000 life points, send Fusion Destiny to the graveyard, and you get to summon Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer after being interrupted. So, yeah. What do you think about this card?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have lost their freaking mind. You guys realize how... Do you guys realize how much you're getting played? You're getting scammed so hard. They could just print the end thing on one card, but no, they get you to buy more and more and more cards just to go get the one card to do the thing, right? But they get you to buy like 6 cards for every one actual card you want to play. And you know what? You shouldn't put up with it. You shouldn't put up with it like this.
For context, this card is banned, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, well, good riddance. I'm sure I would have figured that out. I don't know.
It was very stupid that you could just take any 2 monsters at any point and basically convert it into Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer or a couple of other fusion monsters that were around during this time. It was very dumb.
Oh my god.
It basically made like all your opponent's interaction like redundant or like irrelevant rather because they would do stuff to stop you, and as long as you had 2 monsters, you just make Verte and just do it anyway. Like, it didn't matter. So you don't even have to have the Fusion Destiny in hand.
Just draw 2. It's not that bad. It's actually wonderful. It's actually really fucking fun. It's really fun, you guys. I swear.
So what do you think about our deck building philosophies?
I hate it.
Good.
I hate it. Oh my gosh. It sounds like every early turn, you just memorize the play patterns and away you go. And it feels like every game's the same to me. I don't know.
we like to call Yu-Gi-Oh the fighting game of card games because you kind of have to like learn all these combos before you play a deck, which is definitely a deterrent for like newer players for sure.
Yeah.
There's even like spreadsheets that'll show like different lines of like, okay, you have these cards. This is like what you can do with those cards, right? It's very like memorization heavy from like a combo perspective for a lot of decks. There are like control decks where that's not really much of an issue. But that's kind of just our game at the end of the day, and you got to see some of the highlights of it for sure.
It does seem content friendly. Can always make a flowchart.
You can always that you can. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all their continued support. So shouts to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Madolce, Moto, Cameron L. Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Little Fayleaf, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Brian Dancer of Class 7, Dylan Rare Hunter, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, Cheeks McLapperty, MBT Cancel by Community soon, Cancel by Committee soon, Cancel by all players soon, Wonder Waffle, Daniel Howell, MBT and Nimnim's One Boxer Brief Fueled Night of Passion, Electrician of the Ice Barrier, The Nova 129, Chris Adams, and Lillamancy. Thank you all again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.